Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful morning here. Another cold one, like you can see all the snow, but there's no snow today, which is good. I still have a few more appointments to keep and things I need to do, so I'm going to get on with that. But it's very, very cold. The sun is nice on your skin, but you do feel the cold. I'm continuing my fasting and praying that everything will come right. You can't choose the family you're born into or the diseases you're going to inherit, right? So, unfortunately for me, even if I do all the right things, as may not come right in terms of my cholesterol and high blood pressure and all that, because there's only so much you can do, and that's the sad reality. So, it's come as a shock to me that I'm at risk of all these things, but I guess for now the good thing is that I'm at the optimal level for where I need to be, but I have to take medications and all that, and a lot of it is my circumstances. Because, again, I blame Canada, because the food that we're eating here is not normal. It's got a lot of sugars in it, it's got a lot of fat in it, and you've heard people speak on it like Robert Kennedy Jr. in America. Even if you look at the contents of the packaging of what you're eating, it's very hard to get away from the sugar content and to get away from the fat content, because there's so much sugar and fat in everything. And believe you me, I have cut my calories in half. I've cut the fat content in half. That also affects your liver, because I've got fatty liver now. And your liver you can't replace. Your blood pressure, yes, you can try to bring that down. But when things upset me, my blood pressure goes right up. It goes right back to that stage 2, even with the medication. So I try to stay away from things that are going to upset me, people that are going to upset me. I try to do things that are in line with my profession as a spiritual director, things that are calming, things that are healing. I try to focus on my life and my health. I also haven't been listening to Elvis's music every day religiously like I've done before. So I guess I'll have to start doing that again. There's something about his music that helps me. I think it's the key and his voice and the combination of how he put his instruments together. But I haven't been doing it every day. I've been listening maybe once a week for the last 2 years. But the other times when I've been laid off, I've listened to his music every day. Every day before I went to sleep, I used to put something on and it would change to his gospel music, especially that medley. And this time I just thought, oh, you know what, it will be fine. I've got my medication and I'm under my doctor's care and I've cut back on my calories. I'm eating healthy. I'm not eating a lot of carbohydrates and fats, and I'm drinking lots of water. And unfortunately, it hasn't turned out to be quite the case. But at least I've got the medication and I can keep working on it, and I can keep away from people and things that are going to upset me, including the contact center work. This ear of mine still gets very painful sometimes. And it's just sad. It's just sad because I know that even the operations manager and some of my other managers tried to talk to the clients about the impact that it was having on us, and that the customers didn't have any right to be so harsh with us, and they wouldn't listen. So, if it was their children, I think they must be those kinds of people. Because how they treat me is probably how they treat their children. They probably have no compassion for their children. They have no empathy for their children. And they probably don't care if their children land up going and living on welfare. Because our religion, the Christian religion, teaches that you do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. So for all these Americans, and the majority are Americans and even Canadians, it shows you, because how they treat me is how they treat their children. It's how they treat their family. They don't see anything wrong with what they're doing. As far as they're concerned, medication is the answer. Medicate it, take tablets, and it's not just about that. It's about how you treat people, how you value people, how you value the people who are working for you, how you value the people that you see every day, whether you treat us with compassion and kindness, whether you accommodate us when we need the accommodation. And I haven't had a positive experience in Canada. I haven't. I mean, the only thing that keeps me going is I take time to focus on the positives in life. I take time to appreciate sunlight and nature and to count my blessings, and that's what helps me. Because really and truly, I never expected the Americans to be like this, and I never expected Canada to be like this. But if you think about, and I use Elvis as an example because that's the only one I can relate to. You go through such a grueling schedule, you'll end up having diarrhea and constipation, and you have to perform like it's just about your KPIs and meeting targets and the next performance. And at the end of it, you lose everything, including your health. And who's there for you? Nobody. Nobody's there for you. So I just think that what the decisions they made are only going to hurt them now. Because Australia's collapsing. Europe is not in great shape. Europe is better than here. We are performing the worst out of the G7 countries. 54 condominiums sold in October. 54. So why are they building more when they know that the market is tanking? It doesn't make sense what our government's doing. Build more buildings when people don't have jobs, people can't afford food, people can't afford the basic medications. I believe now my doctor's saying now they're making the ITS something that you can claim through OHIP, so you don't have to pay for it. What about glasses? Glasses cost in the hundreds. A good pair of glasses, you can look at $500, $600 eyeglasses or contact lenses. So anyway, it's not to be dismal or it's not to be negative. It's just the reality of what I've experienced. And so I'll start listening to my Elvis music again. I used to do at least half an hour every day of his music, whether it was gospel or other music, but mainly the gospel music. And that helps me. It helps to calm my body, calm my mind, calm my spirit. So I'll start doing that again. And yes, I'm happy that the medication helped. But again, it's not where it needs to be. And so that's pressure on me because I know now I have to be even more rigorous in terms of monitoring the fat content, in terms of monitoring what I'm eating, and even some of the foods we eat. Like yesterday, I had broccoli. I was eating that broccoli. It felt like there were little pieces of glass on it, so I stopped eating it. Because you don't know, sometimes they process foods and all that. They send it to us. You think it's meeting the health quality, and you find that they didn't test it properly. So if there's something that comes up like that, like I can taste like crystals or something, I just throw it away. I don't eat it. So, and even the sardines, they're saying the sardine population died in the coast of South Africa, so penguins are dying. Well, that's also going to affect us. So to me, it just makes sense that you be nice to people, because eventually what goes around comes around. I'm just disgusted with the Americans and the Canadians because they're very harsh people. They're very, very harsh people. I know what I went through on those calls at Teleperformance, and it's not to say that, oh yeah, she's sensitive. Oh no, it's not that at all. I'm not overly sensitive. I'm not a highly sensitive person. I know how to be cordial. I know how to hold myself. I know how to handle things. I just think that they're brutal because they only care about the next dollar, the next KPI, the next thing that's coming up, and you work your butt off. You'll end up losing your health. And what do they do to help? Nothing. They say, oh, access the systems that are in place, access the healthcare, access the pharmaceuticals. But that's not the point. The point is that I worked for your company and your company didn't take responsibility. And even with what TD happened, what happened last year with TD, I mean, I was watching a documentary and this man was saying now TD had a good strategy when they went into America because they were going to take over a number of the small banks and expand and increase profitability. But because of this gift card scam that was going on and the drug cartel money happened in America and they turned a blind eye to it. And when one of the employees reported it and said, this is strange, like this guy's coming in with sackfuls of money, like shouldn't we investigate it? And the supervisor basically blew him off, or her off, whoever it was, and just said, like, just do your job. There's nothing wrong with it. Only to find that it was a house of cards that was going to crumble and that it was drug cartel money. And then they saying, what this man was saying was that because every dollar, like if we are in a Canadian bank, it doesn't matter because the money is processed through America. So what America did to our gold bank, the bank everybody loves, they put a cap on it, just like they did with Wells Fargo. So that means TD cannot expand in America. That means that they have to find other ways to make a profit. And even if they do reach that level, like whatever cap they put, they can't go beyond that. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, they're controlling it through the US currency. And the other countries are pushing back, the BRICS nations, which is good because nobody wants to be controlled like that by the US and dominated by them. But it's not a positive sign for us here because it means that the housing market is going to crash. It means that our goods are going to become more and more expensive because our government's not pushing back. And the stupidity of what some of the conservatives are doing, they're acting like that seat that they were elected into is theirs and they can make a personal choice to just cross over and join another party. Then it's not the case. Because when we voted them in as conservatives. So if, yes, you want to leave the party and you want to go to the NDP or you want to go to the Liberals, that's fine. That's a personal choice. But you have to resign from that position and you have to let the people vote somebody else in. It's not like being a king. You don't get to say that, oh yeah, thanks for voting me in. I've decided that I'm not going to represent you guys anymore. I'm just going to represent the Liberals and what they want. And I'm doing it in the name of Canada to unify the country. It's rubbish. It's rubbish. So anyway, that's how it goes. Yesterday when I came back, I was very upset. I mean, I'm happy about my blood pressure, yes. But I was very upset because I did not expect to hear the news that, oh, you have to now also watch your cholesterol and you also have to take medication for that. And you have to also be careful because your liver now, it's fatty liver. And before, the last test on those things was actually better than this test. So it was disappointing for me. So I give God thanks that at least the blood pressures come down. But again, I don't need things upsetting me. I don't need people upsetting me. I don't want to be in a job where I'm going to be screamed at and shouted at and yelled at, and calls are going to be coordinated and put through that they are deliberately going to upset me and my colleagues and everybody working in an organization. Because it doesn't make sense what people are doing. Because, it's not just about me. My whole team suffered because of those types of calls. And it's not just about saying, oh yeah, well, we got fined, so it's over. No, it's not. What did you do for us as your workers? Did you compensate us? Did you put any kind of systems in place to help us, to help our families? We don't care if you get fined. That fine means nothing to us, because you're just going to pay it on focus on making your next billion. And TD, this documentary was saying, and rightly so, that if they're lucky, it will be 6 to 7 years before they can start increasing profitability again. On the outside, it could be 10 years or more, like Wells Fargo. All because they didn't care about how the profit was made and who was reporting it. Some junior at the front, yeah, la, 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 laugh out loud. It's the same thing that happened when that junior died in one of the investment banks because they forced him to work overnight. I could have also died. Anxiety is not a joke. It's not a condition that's not serious. Yeah, it was low anxiety, but when you put people in circumstances where it's going to be exacerbated, then that's on you, Teleperformance. I did my part. And so my prayer to Jesus is, Jesus, your name means the one who saves. You save me. Because I did not plan on coming to this country and landing up in poverty, and landing up with contract work, and landing up with people who are insecure, so they put me out of my jobs. I did not plan on that. So you save me, because I'm doing my part, and I did my part. So you do yours. That's my prayer to the Lord. Just like the woman that went and touched the garment of Jesus because she'd been hemorrhaging for 12 years, and she knows that those tassels carry the Jewish laws in them. They carry the Jewish promises in them. I also go to Jesus and I say, Jesus, I did my part. Well, I didn't do it completely because I didn't listen to Elvis every day, and I didn't sing with Elvis every day. But I'm going to do it. And to those of you who don't like my singing with Elvis, please leave me alone. Because I reported, you report me to the copyright people, I report you to Graceland. Because they want people to sing his music. They want people to remember him. They want people to do what I'm doing. So if it's upsetting you, please stop checking my Facebook page and my social media and leave me alone. And fix your own lives and your own company. Because I can tell you now what happened to me at Teleperformance and on all my contracts. It didn't have to happen. You want to blame me because that's easier for you, to use me as a scapegoat. But it's on you. It's not on me. And I didn't ask for this to be somebody that inherited the risk of heart attack and fatty liver disease and high blood pressure and diabetes, the worst of all. I didn't ask for that, but that's my bloodline. So I have to deal with that. But I can tell you the circumstances that America and Canada have created with the foods I eat, with the types of jobs I get, with the kind of pay I get, with the kind of working hours I get, all of that exacerbated it. And even the fact that I have to walk when it's cold weather like this, because I don't have any income coming in, I don't have any social support, I don't have any financial support, that's also on the government. I have to walk today. I have to go and get more tests done. It's not my fault I don't have an income. I do everything good. I do everything right.